that fractal pattern. And what's really beautiful and ties everything together, you'll see that all of them come around the tetrad.
Yeah. This is what sold me. This is what made me say, man, this guy figured out something that's so incredible, so dynamic. This is what should be on the mainstream news every night instead of the garbage that they've been feeding us. This is going to force science to rewrite books.
This is the fractal.
Yes.
This is for bonding. This is a magnetic bond. Let me show you how electricity behaves now and you've seen this, but for the audience, instead of 4, now electricity is a higher density, always has a higher density, and it's always seeking a higher pressure condition. So instead of these bonding at the edges, they are collapsing the dodecahedron in the center and generating energy. So it's at greater density, but smaller. It's a smaller space. But this is why electricity has so much power, because now that entire center that was here before, you can see how it has been ejected and collapsed, but this still makes the form of a tetrahedron. And these will keep bonding and making other structures, predictable structures.
And this now at 5, does it have electromagnetic force?
It's all electric. It's more electrically expansive.
Gotcha.
So, and they'll keep bonding with other 5s and other 5s. And on the fringes, the 4s will balance themselves. But it's basically rebuilding the periodic table, atom for atom. And when we place these in the solar apex, it predicted entire new relationships between stars and constellations. But it also predicts where every star will occur on the galactic plane, on the celestial plane, and the ecliptic plane. And if you look at the colors going across the edges of these struts, those represent the individual atoms that make up the periodic table. With carbon or hydrogen, carbon, and silicon and cobalt being on those center places, and then on the far edges of those, you'll have on the red side, you have your lithium, beryllium, boron, and then it just expands into the next octave, I mean, it's a concise story that's predictable and proven. Like, we were able to throw it into Chat GPT because now they're calling this the Howard comma. Like the Pythagorean comma. The Pythagorean comma is that portion of the periodic table. And if you watch on that Joe Rogan thing with Eric Weinstein, you'll see we were talking about the Pythagorean comma 109.47. Eric was saying that was a mistake, that I wasn't aware of. And I was like, no, you don't build 50 patents off of it with it being something you're unaware of. I was like, no, but it actually is an error correction code because it allows, instead of them having the platonic solids, and what they love to do is divide the universe or the earth into cubicles. Into cubes, and now make prediction based upon where these cubes are overlapping. Whereas this is no longer based on the cube. This is actually based on those 4 corners that we were talking about. These 4 corners right here.
This is incredible. I mean,
this is the 4 corners that existed, that the Bible was talking about. The center of the earth. In order for this to exist, there's a sphere in here, a sphere in here, a sphere in here, and a sphere in here. And these 4 spheres interacting are responsible for all effects of nature. And how they respond when other things bond with them. All of these things. And this is how we developed the linchpin. It was like, okay, well, they're not listening to it for its predictive value. So it was like, well, let's build it out and put props into those individual areas, and we'll invent tangential flight.
Which I saw the tangential flight from you when we had our live, months ago. But can you pull that video up? Because that blew my mind.
Yes.